They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense.
The king, outside the palace, where I've been sequestered for 2 days now, catching a little bit of fresh air and having a chance to talk directly to the people I love and the people that love me. It's a small audience, but it's a select audience. I often say, many shall be called, but few shall be chosen. And that's where we are today. We've arrived at that point. I'm proud of the fact that I was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a Charlestonian forever, which makes me a natural historian. It also makes me a natural gentleman. That's who I am. And 72 years have passed since that day back in Charleston that I was born, and on my 18th birthday I was drafted into the military, and I took off to a foreign land, and I was gone for 25 years serving the country. Iraq, Afghanistan, all of it, proudly. From there I went into commercial business for another 25 years and retired and became full-time at what I'm doing right now, but only a month ago bringing it over a channel to the masses, and I'm glad that I did it. But I can encapsulate just all the ways that I got to where I am with one verse. So let's see if I can stagger through this. A lot will be said in this. When I was in school, I ran with a kid down the street, and I watched him burn himself up on bourbon and speed. But I was smarter than most, and I could choose. I learned to talk like the man on the 6 o'clock news. When I was 18, Lord, I hit the road. It doesn't really matter how far I go. I can still hear the soft southern winds in the live oak trees, and those Williams boys still mean a lot to me. Hank in Tennessee, guess we're all gonna be who we're gonna be. Yeah, but what do you do with good old boys like me? Yeah, what do you do with good old boys like me? Well, we've arrived at that point. To tell you I'm washed in the blood, I'm a Christian believer, and I worry about nothing and I fear nothing is actually the truth. Studied and had my own personal relationship for all of my lifetime. And only as I got older and began to not go to weddings anymore and started to going to funerals and burying all those that were near and dear to me for my lifetime, that I officially become an ordained minister so that I could do the funerals and I could do the weddings as well. No interest in spreading the message or taking money from an offering plate, just my own personal relationship and doing the things that I want to do. I have my own personal relationship. I do my own thing with my master, and he does them with me. And some time ago, I was studying the Old Testament, and I was studying about Gideon. If you don't know about Gideon, I'll tell you about him real quickly. Gideon's a hapless guy in the Middle East, back in the Bible ages. And he was chosen by God to lead an army to defeat the Midianite army that was threatening his nation. And Gideon pretty much told God, "You've got the wrong guy. I'm a fool. I can't do these things." And God sent an angel to stand next to Gideon and told him to put together an army of 5,000, because there are 32,000 strong Midianites you're going to have to defeat, and you will defeat them. God told him you will. But on the night before the battle, God's angel told Gideon, "God has told me that you have too many soldiers." And Gideon's like, "Too many? I got 5,000. What do you mean?" He said, "God has told me that you can only have 300. So take all 5,000 down to the river, And those that drink water from their hands will be with you, and those who lean their faces in the water will be sent home to their safety, because they're not fit for your army. And Gideon did that, and he ended up with 300 people shaking his head when the angel told him, if you defeat the Midianites with 5,000, you can claim credit for what you have done. And you have done nothing. God did it. And so by removing all these soldiers and reducing you to an army of 300 facing an army of 32,000, there can be no doubt that it was divine intervention. God doesn't like casinos. God doesn't like money changers. He never did. He knows that I don't like how the poor and the less fortunate are treated in casinos. And God began to bless me with epiphany after epiphany, beginning years ago when building to what has just happened, the watershed moment that I've told you about. And the key to all of this is that God sent me an angel to stand by my side, a mathematical genius who gave up his vice president job in Washington, D.C. to move here with me 2 months ago to build what we currently have. And he has been invaluable by my side. Without him, I couldn't possibly have done it. He's much younger than me. He's much smarter than me. And he is the guy that I would walk down any alley with. I'll go in any fight with this guy. And together we came up with algorithm modification after algorithm modification. You saw it. You saw 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You saw it. 3 nights ago, we came up with the thought that God put in my head. And it is the watershed moment of all watershed moments, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Playing at the $40 and $60 level for the last 18 hours, I have won $82,000 on a simulated roulette wheel. So I just went to the casino and played 50-cent units for an hour and won $1,100. This is rock solid. This is not threatening. This is not stressful. This is hands off the wheel, cruise control, running into the intersections unabated. And we have it now. Which leaves me with the question. It's the Fountain of Youth question. David and Alex at the dealer school in Las Vegas are subscribers. Jack Hayes, a renowned mathematician, is a subscriber. The Roulette Master in Kansas City is a subscriber. I reveal what I know now, and they're going to shake their heads and go in and try to beat it. And they're going to come out shaking their heads even more so, knowing that the game has been changed forever. And if what I have between my ears right now, the intellectual property that I have between my ears and that my partner, my angel, has between his ears, we can make thousands of dollars a day, he and I, for the rest of our lives. Or we can share this, and you can make thousands a day for the rest of your lives. But then others are going to know. The dealer school is going to know. Jack Hayes is going to know. Roulette Master is going to know. So the world is going to know. And the casinos are going to have to do things like raise the table minimums, lower the table maximums, make Fibonacci and Martingale and Delambert illegal, make 4 zero wheels, make a 72 number wheel. There's no limits that they won't go to continue the flow of the money. No limits. I know these people. I know them between here and the host in Las Vegas. I've never had a player's card. I've never accepted a comp. I've never given my name. They know my name. They know this house because that's their business. I'm coming to you now to ask you, what do I do? What do I do? If you had the fountain of youth in your backyard, who would you tell? If you had the fountain of youth in your backyard, what would you charge? What would you do? This intellectual property between my ears right now is a fountain of youth that will never stop giving unless I give it out to everybody, and then it can stop. So that's my dilemma. There's going to be 10% out there to say, here's the sucker bet. He wants $10,000. He wants $50,000. I don't know what to do. I don't know where it is. I know if I show it to you, you have it, and I know you're going to run off to the casino wild-eyed, and you are going to make money. I know that you're going to break the online because you can. This is that powerful. I've talked about the 4 components of the algorithm. I've talked about it as a holistic thing. I've talked about those 3 and 4 components of patience, discipline, humility. The reward has been people going to casinos and trying to run classes at the table, helping people out. The reward has been people trying to win $2,000 tonight off of a $200 bankroll, that they bring the whole bankroll with them, that they don't do the patience and discipline, they don't build the bankroll, they don't bring 5% with them, they don't stop at 15%. The patience, discipline, and humility part has been lost. And those are just as important as everything else. I live a humble life. You see me sitting here. Yeah, it's a big house and all of that, but I drive an older car and I live below the radar. I live below my means. I truly believe the meek inherit the earth, and I'm waiting for it because it's mine. Because I'm a meek and humble guy. And I'm always going to be that way. I have my guitar and I have my music, and that's all I need at this stage of my life because I fear nothing. I'm looking for some input. I'm holding in abeyance. What do I do? I mean, I could easily make some kind of contract with every one of you and privately deliver this to you and ask you to send me some compensation or some percentage of your winnings. I could do that. I could ask you for a raw number, pay me, and I'll double seal it and send it to you and ask you, please don't tell anybody else. But you're gonna. The only way you keep a secret is have it between 2 people. A secret can be kept if it's restricted to 2 people, as long as one of those people is dead. That's how a secret stays a secret. I've kept this thing a secret for a long time and then began to divulge it to you guys free of charge, hoping that the masses can begin to make some money back, because I hate the money changers at the casino. I've seen the young man gripping his last $20 bill, trembling with his hands, and I'm watching him make the bet that he's going to lose his last $20. And nobody in that casino cares. They want it all. The rich guy's money, they want that, but it doesn't matter to him. The middle guy, they want his, it matters to him. It breaks his marriages. He loses his life. And the poor broke guy, he's on the street and gone. I'm angry about it. God doesn't like those guys. I couldn't have done this on my own. I did it partly because of my angel, but my angel was sent to me by somebody. And all that I have been able to do is because divine intervention that gave it to me. I believe it, I'm unshakable in my beliefs. And now I have the watershed moment. And I'm not going to divulge anything to you right this minute. I am telling you that I played it and played it and played it and ended up $80,000. I went in to the brick and mortar casino this morning and within an hour had $1,100 profit and took the money and ran. If you had the guaranteed, here it is, would you stop at 15%? Would you do it every day? Would you stay below the radar? Would you be quiet and humble? Would you need high fives? Would you need the vanity? I've said forever, it's always fine to be liked. It's not fine to want to be liked. Wanting to be liked is the end of whoever you are. You give everything you are to somebody else in hopes that they like you. Do what you do. Be yourself. People will like you just like that. I wanted you to visit with me here at the palace today. I wanted you to see me informally. I wanted to talk directly to you. I want you to light it up. What do I do? Because as soon as I publish this modification, the YouTube channel is over. There's nothing else I can say in Roulette, because now you have pulled the sword from the stone. As soon as you have this, you have pulled the sword from the stone. As soon as David and Alex has this, they go into the Patron and it proves itself out, and they come running out not knowing what to do. Jack Hayes the same thing. Roulette Master the same way. They're going to want to keep running their roulette channels because they actually make a whole lot of money off of it. I made $39 yesterday. It's not important. What's important is between my ears, and what's important is my audience and my kingdom. That's my legacy. I could save it in a safe deposit box under lock and key, list everybody's name, and then have it sent to you after I die. All those things. I want to know options from you. The question is right now, I've got it, I can give it. What do I do with it? Think about it. Tell me. I love you to death. Until I hear from you, the King bids you adieu.